What's my confidence? My cocaine, my heart desire. Give me nothingness. I know they're tired, 'cause you give me ginger. All the time minutes. You're my true lover, my mommy water. Give me nothingness. Holy Ghost fire, supernatural. What's my confidence? My cocaine, my heart desire. Give me nothingness. I know they're tired, 'cause you give me ginger. All the time minutes. You're my true lover, my mommy water. Give me nothingness. Times on the shot for my nigga. I stop drinking, babe. Tequila done hits me for leaving. It's that time indica, it takes a diva. Anytime that I smoke, this girl's been looking like white materials. Is it good or die? If I see it, I'm fine. How I feel inside, I would like to know. I am super high, I can feel my eyes. They say love is blind, but I can't see you. Stones on the shelf for my nigga. Stop drinking, babe. Tequila don't hit me for leaving. It's a dying indica, it takes a diva. Anytime that I smoke, this girl's been looking like white materials. Is it good or that? If I see it, can't find how I feel inside. I would let you know I am super high. I can feel my eyes. They say love is blind, but I can't see you. Oh yeah, the fantasy, 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 the fantasy.
We're live. About to get started here for the evening. Talk a little bit about crypto tonight and some of the markets. Gold above 3,000 for the first time ever in history. We're seeing history in the making here. And we're getting a bit of a pullback into the night session. There wasn't much pullback. This is the first pullback on the 4 hour. That's starting on gold. You can see it's maybe coming down to $3,025 here. We're going to analyze some things. We did talk about gold, early on in the week, and if you're in the inner circle on the weekend to go above 3,000, there were some pullbacks. I mean, there was one decent pullback, and we did talk about maybe going up, down. The market kind of had that flow here. Even last night I was saying if it goes up more, wait for it to pull back. It almost came down to the area I was saying last night. Was anybody here last night, 24 hours ago? Because last night I was saying like it might just keep going up and then have a bigger pullback. That's like, I was talking about a scenario last night. Some of you guys who were here last night might remember I was talking about at times maybe the market can be like this where it's trending, and we were here last night and I was saying, or actually it was lower, we were like here, and I was saying maybe the market could push up. That would be good to see. Even if it keeps going up, wait for a bigger pullback. That's what can happen. Like price can extend and then come back to originally kind of where it was, where you were. We had a little discussion on that last night for anybody who was here 24 hours ago. I was saying let it go to like $3,010 and then have a bigger pullback to 3,005, 3,000 area. Kind of like almost happened. Some of the things we talked about, but then from there it's just going, pullback. It was here. which looks like the market's going to come back to test. We are high right now. Everything's, going down right now but gold. All the markets, a lot of things. We're going to talk about that and relate it to crypto in a bit, but gold's above 3,000. Still hasn't had like a big pullback to, like, there was that. Like, that's all that really pulled back here at the beginning when it broke above 3,000. Had this pullback. So unless you were like on the charts, maybe at that time was 1:30 in the morning before London session. It hasn't had like a bigger pullback, like a deeper one, like a bigger retracement. Like right now, we're starting to get one on the 4-hour. And we have FOMC tomorrow. So from now until FOMC, how does price behave? The buy could be after or during FOMC. There could still be, like, we're still above 3,000. Between now and, with FOMC tomorrow, market could still have enough volatility to try to come back and test 3,000 or go below the level we're testing right now. We could see $3,025 here on gold. There is some support here and a bit lower around 3,025, 3,020 area. Other than that, the market has room to go further. I closed buys, but then I was able to catch some before I went to the gym. Actually, I took some buys before the gym and late at night when I was like half asleep. Kept it calm. I've been holding some trades longer. I held this one longer than I usually would have. Been holding some good positions longer than I usually would have. This, like, probably could have taken more trades. I like that style, usually more trades, but I've been holding some because the way the market's been moving, it's like, I even said on the morning session, great, like, kickstart your week. We took a buy. I even said on that session, I bet we could probably hold these buys until like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, I literally said that on the session as it was going in profit. I was like, this trade, like, because people are asking, like, where's take profit? And it's like, where's take profit on gold when you get a good buy entry in 2025? Fucking tomorrow, next week's take profit. Like, it's like a lot of trades we take. If you go back since January, some of the trades, like, if I held, I would have been 50K profit, 40K, some floating good numbers. I can look back. So, like, when we're in a trade, like, it's like when you get a good entry, you could treat a trade as it is. When you're getting good entries like me, it could turn into a swing. Like, it could turn into a day trade. It could turn into a swing. You can kind of manage the trade as it goes. It's like, okay, guys, we could pip and dip it. So I get that term from just pipping and dipping, as fast as it goes into profit. You get a good movement in 30 minutes, an hour, or a minimal time. Pip and dip. But when you guys ask in the chat, like, where should we exit? Where's take profit? It's like tomorrow or the next day. Like, look at the trade we entered at the beginning of the week. We live streamed March 17th. I have to refresh this. I'm recording a video. I'm recording like 3 videos for Inner Circle right now, and we got a lot of videos being edited right now. I gotta delete that. Fucking scammers. But like an entry like that was a good entry, right? I even said on that session we could probably hold it. Go watch the session. Some of you guys were there. It was Monday morning. And literally when you guys ask me like what's take profit, sometimes I'm thinking, man, these we might be able to just hold this trade for the whole week. So what's the take profit? Sometimes it's hard to justify in the sense of going with the trend. Like it's letting the winner run maybe till the next day. That's what I'll do if I'm like in a trade that I'm like I feel like I could hold. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to hold this till the next day at least and see if like okay the next holding it till the next day gives me something. Maybe I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna hold it for 7 days or 3 days. No, I'll just minimally okay, let me just hold it till the next day and see where that gives me. Break even, not thinking more forward like okay, let me hold it for 3, 4, 5 days because maybe just in holding that one extra day or to the next day just gives you enough. Or as that trade's going, you might get more confidence to add on to it, especially if you're going with a trend. This is a good example of the last couple months of a trending market, right? If you've been experiencing the last couple of months, per se, you've got to experience a good trending market, right? In the last couple of months. There might be different dynamics inside of that when you're even in a trade, when you understand what type of market you're in. That's why I've only just been looking for buys mainly. You might understand I'm in a trending market. If I have a good position and I know how to find another entry, I might be able to add on a small position. Because if the trade's gone 200-300 pips in profit, 400 pips in profit, you're holding a good position and it's gone up a lot, a pullback happens, you might be able to add on a small position. And there's such a distance between your entry. That's what I did. This is a good market to try to plan towards that. I mean, it's been a good market. Now, when I say plan towards that, I mean it's a lot of mental too, right? It's a lot of mental thinking and patience. There's two types of patience, though. There's patience waiting for a trade, and then there's patience when you're holding a trade, right? So you have to understand both sides of your patience levels, your tolerance of FOMO, maybe the fear of missing out while you're holding a position. Because when you're in a trade and it goes in profit, you might see it up. It might be up $100 or $200, and then it might go down to now you're up $50. So if you're constantly watching that, you're not kind of mentally prepared. Okay, I could, maybe hold this trade longer. Like if you guys are on my sessions, you guys see I'm talking a lot because I'm like distracting myself. Not trying to always just, if there's a plan there, I got to give the candles time. We could watch gold. It looks like it's gonna come down. Maybe test 25, 20 area. A buy. I would attempt one more buy here. Scalping maybe turns into a good London trade around this area. I would attempt maybe one more setup here before FOMC. I think it'd be maybe there's one setup to attempt before FOMC, but you just gotta watch out. It could come back to 3,000. That would be like previous resistance where we really came from, where we broke out. This area, maybe tonight, Tokyo session, late Tokyo, pre-London, had a nice reaction here. So like patience, like 25, and I'm gonna show you guys some stuff tonight. But like look here, this was a high formed. So simple types of setups that maybe you can spot at times. That's why this is 3,025, right? You keep these levels on the chart. They're there. And oftentimes them being there can help you see, oh look, okay, there's this, a nice structure point there that gets retraced. There's a nice quick retracement into this candlestick here. See this big engulfing candlestick there? Notice how the market retraces nice into that candlestick, right? And after that, it has a nice bullish move up. That green candle, the really strong green candle right here, right? Notice how fast it is, how big it is, right? How the way it moves. It moves price higher. It delivers price higher up, right? You could say that's an engulfing candlestick, okay? Notice how the market retraces that candlestick perfectly, about 50%, right? 50% of the candle. And then from there we just continue up and we make another high, okay? And then from there, where do we come back to? Nice magical point where we literally broke out of, and there's structure there, right around 3025. Now, to spot a setup like that, it would have just took time on the chart, right? I think the more time you spend on the chart, the better you'll be able to open up the chart, look at it quick, be like, okay, what's going on? Okay. Even me, I can look at my phone real quickly and go on, and just zoom in, add some lines. I think it's repetition in that, gaining rhythm in that. That's why, let's say you go through this year is different for trading. It's 2025. It's definitely going to be a harder year, especially if you've only started trading the last year or two. Different volatility to get tested. This year's going to test a lot of traders, investors too, in the crypto market. I'm going to get to crypto in a little bit because I got some things to talk about with that. Even right now, we're rejecting in the 30-minute to the right side here, where we can see a low, right? We can see volume came from here. All right, so there might be some rejections, even a bit above 25. Like, I would look to try to see as close to 3025 area on gold tonight. But yeah, you're not pre-planning setups always like this that are perfect. Wow, that's so clear, right? So clear there, where we see break up, higher high, structure, retest, time on the chart. It's gonna take that's why I say showing up every day is the key in trading. Showing up to the chart at a time or times, right? If you get to a level of time where you have time, you can spend more time at certain windows of the day. Like right now, for instance, spend time today, these hours. For instance, New York. So you see, I'll go live New York, spend some hours on the chart there. Come back later, spend some hours on the charts there. Through the day, I can, jump on my laptop time and time. I'm always doing other work, multitasking, and check up what things did, how price moved, looked at my phone, right? But developing that consistency of, say, showing up every day is going to be key, especially in a market like this, because let's say you take 60 days off. You're going to come back to the charts and be like, what did the charts do in the last 60 days? Holy, where have I been? It may take time to adapt to the environment, right? You might be used to trading a certain way. You might have old habits that kick in, right? So really, the key in trading is the key in any job. It's just time commitment too, because you want to be able to adapt to the charts and not get rusty too. How do traders get rusty? You go on a bad losing streak. Let's say you go on a losing streak. You take a break for a month or two. That's still gonna make you rut, because now you've spent 2 months off the chart. You don't know where the charts have been. You don't know where the news has been. You don't know what's going on with interest rates, inflation, FOMC, NFP, right? The dollar. You don't know that. That's the thing. That's where you get even rustier. You might look at a losing streak. I gotta take a break. I'm bad. I'm rusty. No, you gotta learn from those, because only the game is really gonna teach you the game. But staying kind of on the course of things keeps you sharper along the way. Even now, when we're looking at gold, we're getting some rejection, maybe on the 30-minute. Might be a buy situation. See these wicks over here, punched up, pull back. First pullback on the 4-hour. Looking at Oanda on the 4-hour here. There's some wicks down, obviously, on those candles. It broke above and wicked down to there. Like we just broke up here, breaking up a bit. Pullbacks would be nice. Like if this is accumulating and stays sideways. I put a Fibonacci there. Pullbacks. Starting to go a bit sideways here, which is nice. But I still like the bullish dynamic. Even this 30-minute little hammer we just got closed, because this one just finished a couple minutes ago. Looks like a hammer here, a little pin bar. So in a situation like this, you could always look at, so you guys always ask me about stop loss. So it's like, let's say I was to enter right now, but do I have to enter a full position at this price? Because like, what are the odds I'm going to enter right now and it's just going to go right up? It's probably, because when we're looking at gold, we have that decimal point, right? So like a dollar, those fluctuations in a dollar, like it ticks, right? It's going to go down a couple pips, right? Points, right? So most likely, like if I'm going to enter now, where's my risk? I could put it at the candle. But it doesn't mean I have to put a full position right now. It's like I could try to scale in, maybe get a better entry a little in as I'm expecting a move up. Or I could look below me and say, okay, like where's structure? There's structure here, right? There's lows here. If I wanted to be maybe a bit more safer and still do the same strategy where it's like, okay, if I want to enter now and add entries if it goes against me, a little drawdown, I could still be maybe more conservative here, right? Maybe I'm going for a bigger target too as well. If I wanted to be even more conservative, like I'm looking back, it's just looking back even at structure where stop losses most likely are, right? Which would be maximum like here, right, at these lows, right? So when you're looking closer, when you're looking at candles closing, you can use a candle. It's like I could look at, okay, this could be potentially support being made in here, right? So if I want to get tighter with a stop loss scenario, I could look at entry here or around these wicks. If price pulls back, stop loss below this candle. Now for gold, that distance can be at times a little tight, right? How many of those types of trades are you taking with that small of a stop loss? Because over here, way more breathing room, more likely to not get stopped out, still catch a move, right? Here, maybe a little tighter if it wicks down, because there's scenarios where gold can wick down. It is very volatile. So $2, that would be like $2, $2.50 right there. So that's not, really that big of a distance on gold. Really, $2 moves hundreds of pips a day. It moves tens and 20s of dollars per day. So if I'm looking like, let's just say like when you have rejection candles, like if you're looking at this high here, that makes resistance, it gets taken out, goes above the high, and then there's a candle that rejects. So if you were to enter short after that candle, where could you put your stop loss? If you were saying entering short after that candle, like that's a rejection candle at the high, or zoom out, maybe there's a high above us as well. So you always use like candles, you always use a candle as a stop loss, right? If you're entering, like sometimes, like it's a concept, and the candles are going to be bigger and smaller at times. Depends on where you are. Like right now, this is a good, like right now that was a good entry because the candle that closed before is a hammer, a pin bar, but it's smaller. It's a smaller body. It didn't move so bullish, but it shows bullish significance to it. Okay? Do you guys understand my language? Am I speaking like another language right now? Let me know. Are we okay? Are we good? Oh wow. I've made more from crypto than trading. I've been able to withdraw from trading like $780,000. I put all that in crypto, but I made more money on like crypto coins XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Let me name some. Chainlink, Polkadot, Litecoin, even Shiba. Shiba made 190K on Shiba with $10,000. I put $10,000 into Shiba, and me and my friend, we put like 10K, and at one point it was 280K, and we didn't sell, and then it went down to 190, and we sold. With crypto, I've made some miracles. I've withdrawn. It's about what I've withdrawn from trading. It's about making those withdrawals. So I've withdrawn good amounts. That's what like my main goal. Got into the habit of that. Don't really care about the amount. But with crypto, that's a different story. That's a bit different. Because I started in crypto like when Bitcoin, like 2015, 2016. Yeah, like 10 years now. So I've seen Bitcoin since I remember like $700, $800. I've watched its journey. I remember what it was, but I knew what Bitcoin was in Ethereum, but didn't get onto it till like it was $800. Crypto, I got lots of crypto stories that I'll share. I gotta remember. I gotta reminisce. I gotta reminisce. Even this year, H bar was a really good coin for me this year. Am I making sense? Yeah, I want to make sure I was making sense. So yeah, the candles, like depending on like there could be candles that close, like especially on a 30-minute. Like I'm on a 30-minute right now, and look, like here there's a doji. So this is a perfect example because it's a doji and then a really small bullish candle after. It gives you room for like entry and stop loss position, because it's like, okay, if I'm entering on that green candle, or if I'm entering after the doji or on the green candle, or when the green candle closes, it goes up after. So picture, oh man, I'm slow. If I'm entering on that type of candle, it gives me more room, like stop loss below the low right here. So like with scalping we could look at smaller time frames, but like stop loss would be like using like the candle that we're entering off of, kind of like this. A scenario like this is really good because the body's small. Something like if red doesn't signify bearish, right? Red doesn't signify bearish necessarily. Like if you're maybe at a lower point, or it could be like this, a hammer, for instance, or of a pin bar. Where like you guys, if you follow the streams, you'll often hear me kind of say, okay, I'm looking at a candle. I'm making a video for this one too right now. Where it's like, if you look here, this was 30-minute chart, right? Yesterday morning. Let's go back to that, for example. 30-minute chart yesterday morning. Is it this one? That would have been right over here. So if you look at like yesterday morning, for example, where we were buying, I know it seems like, I know when I bought at 92, like I knew what I was doing. Like I can handle going in a drawdown from 92. Like it might seem like a lot, but I'm not putting a full position at 92, right? I put like a 0.25, and then I put another 0.25. So I had a half lot. And then when it went down, I added more. So like there's been a lot of trades that I take like that I'm like, did I enter early? Like it was just holding time, holding the position, like obviously analyzing the risk, knowing like, well, okay, what's my maximum risk for the day, for the trade. But if you look at yesterday, for example, It's red candle, bearish candles dropping into New York session, kind of that midday time for the market, right? We often see that since January. Some of you guys have been here since January religiously. And midday, 9:30, 10, 10:30, kind of that window, right? 9 to 11. That New York open window. We've seen this, that sell off and then it turns into a buy, but look at the candles here. Like those types of candles could be your confirmation, and maybe, okay, stop loss. If I'm entering on this green candle, at minimum it could be, okay, below me. What's below me? Like where's below me? And if I go lower, maybe I want to zoom out and see what's even lower for that moment. Like if I'm looking at for that moment where, like, okay, that's a good entry, where would it tell me, like, okay, I'm wrong? Maybe if it goes all the way down to here, it's like, okay, I should exit the trade if the market just keeps running down to here. But when you're looking at maybe the candle confirmations, it could be, look at like the 30-minute chart can often form a smaller size candlestick, right? Something like this, where you have an inverted hammer. So that would be an inverted hammer, but it kind of has a tweezer bottom with it, with the one to the next of it here. So when you're looking even like at a candle like that, what happens to the next candle? So if you're on that candle, for instance, right, you're there, right? You're buying on that candle, anywhere on it, maybe on the body. Like, we don't know. We see how this candle closed, but we don't see how it fluctuated in price. But I'll help you understand how it fluctuated in price because it's an inverted hammer, right? It would have started off bearish, but then eventually graduated up and went fully bullish. It would have been coming up to here and been a very strong green candle at one point, taking out the body of this candle, right? Taking out that candle, the one next to it. So you're getting a tweezer bottom formation even here, right, with the two. The third candle takes out both of them. Now when you're looking at this red candle, the green candle would have taken out that candle, would have engulfed it. But and then it turned into this formation. So there would have been fluctuations in there as the candle's forming and as you're watching it, right? And that's why I'll scale in. Because I've learned, okay, the candle can move. It doesn't mean it's just going to go. There's a closing time for the candle. The candle's going to be able to move so much in the time, right, that we're really viewing it at, that we see maybe some accuracy or some definition to enter. We have to understand, like, that candle, okay, it can only move so much. There's going to be price fluctuations on it. That's why I like to scale in on a candlestick even, per se. Maybe I'm looking at a 30-minute chart and I'm entering on this type of candle, preparing for the next candle to go up, or the next set of candlesticks to go up. It could be up here. You have almost the opposite candle. Right there, the market goes up for some candlesticks. It rejects in this area to the left. But even there, or wait, let's rewind a little bit. I forgot, like, if I'm entering on that candle, it's like, okay, where can I position my risk? Like, if I'm entering anywhere in that candle, or if I'm entering at the end of the candle towards the next one, I can put the stop loss below me, minimally. Now it's also the frequency of these types of trades, because this will be scalping, the frequency of like how many of these trades I may be finding too, right, to have that tighter of risk. But rejections, like here you have a doji, next candle engulfs. So like this candle moves quite a bit, a lot of room. Like if you're entering there, there's a lot of room to, like, okay, now the stop loss is down here because the body has moved a lot. You have a nice engulfing candle here versus, like, per se, like, okay, here you have a smaller body close but still a good bullish close, right? Here you have a doji, maybe even like a hammer. There might be some body on that. That might be like a hammer. But you have this candlestick, boom, bullish, So like same technique of like, okay, I could position my stop loss below the candle if I'm entering there on the next candle, or same technique here or even up here, but the stop loss is bigger now because that candle moved more. Per se, same technique right here. If I'm entering on these candles, I could position my stop loss below those candles. So like when you're looking at 30 minute, it's not perfect though, because you get a lot of these. And every time one of these happens, it'll go up and then make the move. And those happen on any time frame. Pretty much like, I call them one of these. Literally, I literally call them one of these because I don't have a name for it. I call them one of these. The fake out, the exhaustion before maybe the sell off in the market. I call them one of these because they always look like one of these. That's why I named them that. Yeah, so one of these, remember that for future reference. Remember that term, one of these. I've dealt with a lot of one of these a lot where I'm getting a good rejection and I sell and then boom, stopped out. And then typically after. It's not always perfect when you're dealing with maybe even rejection candles. If you look at some bullish ones, like here's one of these right here. One of these, bam. So there's a, rejection, 30 minute, next candle, down, liquidity, and then market makes a move. So when you're scalping, you have to be prepared for like ammunition. Because the scalping can be even in the moment more than one trade. Like you might lose a setup, but then there could be an entry rate after. So with scalping, I'm like prepared for like, okay, a backup trade. Like, okay, trade number one, potentially a backup trade. That backup trade might be, I might have been early, or I might have been the liquidity, I might have been the stop loss, just way of thinking from usually being right even when I'm wrong after 10 years of trading. With scalping gold, I've had a lot of good perfect setups or setups I'm early on where I'm like, boom, enter, lose the trade, then market makes the move. So with scalping even on gold, the setup could be there. You might even enter early at times. So you have to be kind of prepared for like scalping. If you're taking one trade, right, what the second trade is for. Maybe the second trade makes your loss back or makes your loss back and a little bit more. It's kind of like that. Doesn't have to be I gotta hit my profit goal for the day. I gotta make X amount. The second trade is kind of just like a rebound if we're scalping, where it's like, okay, I could recover the L or recover the L and make more back, maybe depending on how the entry goes, if I can hold it, if it's a runner. So when you're scalping and maybe you're going to the market and you're going to be scalping in a session, you're going to be scalping the New York session or you're going to be scalping the London session per se, right? You got to go in maybe because you guys see me. Sometimes I'm on the charts for 2-3 hours. There's been sessions I've done for 5 hours. I think the longest session I did was 5 hours so far. So you're going into a session and you have your risk, right? Because a lot of you guys are learned, okay, you're going to risk 1 to 2% per trade, right? But if you go to that first trade and you risk 2%, you might be really scared to take that next trade and risk another 2% because, damn, then you're down 4%, right? So you may want to break down the risk or have a number of your maximum risk and separate that into 2 trades. Or have an amount that you could risk on that second trade that you know could recover some of the other trade or maybe make a little bit back. Because with gold, it's quite volatile, but what time frame? I would start watching on the 30 minute. Like I'll like if you notice, I went on the 1 hour here. 1 hour's coming down, but you really got to look at I think the 30 minute, 15 even, 5 minute charts. Any time frame is really good. Realistically, any time frame is good, to be honest. So like you could see there, like that's a way to confirm, like even if it's a quick scalp, like, and I'm entering, like I remember how I said like that would be a good entry, Stop loss even here, using the candle. So you can use a candle for your stop loss size, right? Where you're going to put your stop loss. And that's going to give you a greater risk to reward, to be honest, quicker. Rather than sometimes what I do and put it at structure. Because a lot of times I'm even trying to go for like a bigger move, right? And I'm risking more, so money's money when you're risking it. But a greater risk to reward, even in a minimal move, can be more acquired when you're using maybe candlestick confirmation, like candlestick closes on gold. If you got to study the charts, because you got to think about how much time I've spent on the charts, multiplied 10 years, hours and hours. You got to like keep up with the charts, or forward test, back test. Go to different areas of the charts and look at it from different perspectives. That's what I always have done. I look at the same parts and just different perspectives, and that's how you learn. You see, you could train your eyes to see more of like what you want to look for. Engulfing candles can get in the way of like a confirmation. Like if you have a big engulfing candle, wait for a retracement on those. Like my eyes are used to seeing engulfing candles like this, and the one that I was talking about. Those, like, you can have a nice, like, this is a good example because there's some steady candlesticks going down, and then boom, market just shoots up. Like you have these red candles, and then boom, just fires up. So it's like, do I want to buy after that candlestick? You know, that, because it'd be hard to, so let's say like this green candlestick, it'd be hard to be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy after this, because it took out, it almost went back to the high, and it's quite big. So smaller size better to say. You get an engulfing candle, that's a good confirmation for bullish, but you can often look for a retracement 50% of the engulfing candle. Order blocks. So when you get engulfing candles, you gotta be wary of those. Those will pop up on any time frame. Gold just broke up here on the 15. Nice little move up there, you know. Pull back. Maybe in that red candle. Become retest the zone. I'm not in any trade, so maybe come back, retest the zone, and we broke up a bit. Some accumulation here happening. Ran down these lows. Might be coming back for like a little retest here. Back in the zone. 3030 or lower. Yeah, 30 minute is a good, even 1 hour. Like the 1 hour can give you at times like a really good close of like from a retracement. Like mid market's having a good retracement, kind of like we were like a retracement style like this, and you get a good close, and that confirms more of where that bottom set in, more support is set in for the market. Any time frame really. Even right now, 4 hour. If we're looking at the 4 hour on this, the 4 hours just kind of chilling here. I like to mark the quarters. It's a good place to start. You know, if I'm going to the chart right now, that's with where gold's at. Blank chart, and I'm looking at price. Okay, I noticed $3,030. Could also go to spot price real quick, see what that's at, how the market's trading there. And 3,000 is way down here. 20, you know, still shows room for that bigger retracement, maybe with FOMC tomorrow. If I'm looking at this, I'm going to mark 3,000 first. I'm going to go, okay, $3,000 here, or that high, which is around 3,000. But I'm also going to mark, you know, $3,025. I'm looking at where we are right now, based on the 4 hour too, because it's like, okay, this is is it a major support or minor? Because it's like, this is the first time price has been here, so we just kind of testing it right on the 4 hour, and then I'd mark 3,000. And then I'd understand this is, my bigger range here that, okay, if $3,025 doesn't hold, right? We could go into that range more. Find buys, maybe closer back to 3,000 because there is also resistance there. With FOMC being tomorrow, that's not something abnormal to expect, right? You don't want to underestimate the market. Might look like $3,000 is far. However, we have volatility to expect tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time, with this event here. So, see how that shakes up the market and how the market trades the next day, how stocks trade after that. Because stocks are really interesting right now when you look at the stock market overall. Like, you look at some of the big sector stocks, like Apple, taking a hit. And when I look at things from a macro perspective, I've been on the markets for a long time, and things have gone up a lot in the last year. And whenever we look at things, when things have had like runs like this in the year, they typically retrace. Like if we look at all here, ran up. What happened? Some really bad months for a while actually. When you look at how the market here. And then when we look at even like these months, 2 months down, some recovery, even more bleeding out. How many months does that add up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months total, right? The market just started dropping off, right? There could be recoveries and still moves down until the end of the year, right? Maybe after the summertime. Maybe during summer or after the summertime. Hopefully it's a good summer. And tomorrow we have a big event tomorrow that is maybe impactful for stocks, crypto. But whenever you look at like, this has always gone up. By the way, this is Apple. We're gonna look at like even like, so we go to US 30. US 39. Which chart goes all the way back? I'm a noob when it comes to these. There we go. COVID crash. Stocks have always gone up. And when they run up, there's always periods of this, right? Even back over here, months of down, and that's a bearish phase. Bearish phase is accumulation / bearish. So when you look at something like this, right, where the market ran for a long time there, but then you had bearish, that's accumulation at the same time. People are accumulating all through that and then runs up. So what's like bottom line? Like, we want to be a bottom line thinker, a worst case scenario thinker in these markets, because things aren't just going to go up forever. There's so many headlines and expectancies, and people might think markets are just going to go up, go up, go up. Things could stay bearish and accumulate for months. Bearish accumulation, 4 months, 6 months, 6 months, 12 months before really going up. There could be time. Depends on how things digest news, what happens with the news too, as well. A lot of uncertainty in the markets though. That was a long bearish accumulation phase before a long run up, right? So when you look at like a lot, like everything's down, and gold, except for gold. Gold's up. Gold's up. Everything's down. When you look at charts in the last 4 years, everything's gone up. I think it's normal to get a period like this where things sell off. Like things need to offset. How long does that take? That could take months though. I'm not saying this is just gonna go right this month, next month. Anything can happen in the market when you're positioned for whatever you believe in. But when you think about, we just had this first month, there'll be, I feel like there'll be Even when we look at like these where I'm marking. Here, here. Market could be going in for like a phase like that, where inside of that there's months up or months down, months up. What's going on? What are you guys talking about in the chat? Sheesh. Y'all outside. Even Facebook. Look at Facebook. Meta. Like this went on a huge run. Sell off, ran. Big sell off. Like last time there was a crash was here. So things like after running up for so long, that's why Microsoft and of course Bitcoin. But when it comes to crypto, Bitcoin's going to be the one that, like, through bearish accumulation phases or phases like this, it's going to be the one that's accumulating like the strongest. Like long-term holders are are accumulating more and more Bitcoin in the past month. These guys in the chat going wild tonight. Funny. So long-term holders, short-term holders though, a lot of the sell-offs that selling off you've seen in the last couple months even came to short-term holders. Long-term holders are still really net solid. And adding more long-term holders in Bitcoin. That's when it comes to like a bearish crash, bearish accumulation phase. Bitcoin could perhaps even stay in that same type of phase. 4 months we didn't see February. We haven't seen February, March act as they have historically. So when you look at even crypto, like September, after September's, I've talked about this. Like what? Like I always think about worst case scenario. What if? Like I always like to kind of do this type of stuff because like usually it ends up happening, and it's like damn. So like September can be a point where, like right now we're obviously in March. Hopefully we're not up here. Hopefully we're not up here. Hopefully we're more like what we've done the last couple of years or so with crypto. I live at the gym nowadays. Gym days. Been living kickboxing. I got my legs. Gotta get stronger. No, when you train, you can actually go out though. no cap. When you're training, you can go out and still be good the next. That's what I noticed. I had some fun this weekend. Literally woke up, ran on the treadmill. Difference when your stamina's up, cardio's up. I'm just gonna be. I'm hitting the gym. I'm not going to the gym tomorrow. No gym tomorrow. Recovery day. With Bitcoin, like who knows if it goes to that phase? Because like countries are adopting as a reserve, and if like people are just gonna hold it, there's gonna be a lot of demand for it. There's still a lot of adoption to happen with it. I was even like literally just this weekend, like I was with someone who knows nothing about Bitcoin at all, nothing about crypto, nothing about Bitcoin, what it is, how it works, any idea of it. So even like that, just in a small big world, 5 years from now it'll be more mainstream than it is now, even though it's on Wall Street. Like think about it, when you were a kid, like so when you like me. So I'll talk about my experience. Maybe some of you guys can relate. Let's look at what gold's doing. And I'll talk about what I was going to talk about. Oh, I pulled back and just went up. Little pullback there. See, clean one. BOS. I'm always right about those little candlestick entries. See, that's why, like, see that candlestick went up, it still went down. Next candlestick pushes up. That's like some, should have learned. I didn't take a trade there, but you should have learned something there, like scalping 101 there, a little bit, like something, a lesson to take from there. Like all these little things you guys want to take as lessons, because like amount of time I've put into the charts. Whew. Let me tell you. Am I gonna be live for FOMC? I can, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely be checking out the market. I want to see what gold does if it dips down. Like if there's a dip, how it plays out. Yeah, y'all play it safe out there, right? Save your money, buy Bitcoin. Dog with hat. I need dog with hat to go up. I need dog with hat to hit $1.20, $1. And I'll tell you guys. I can't log in right now because not on the VPN, but when the trade's done, if it hits, I'll show. Yeah, dog with hat. I'm long on that. I'm long on a meme coin right now. Like, of course, like the thing that's gonna go up last. Long on Solana. If Solana goes up, it's gonna be a good summer. Summer in Mykonos. I'm talking. It's gonna be a good summer. We'll see. Still got time. Like, can't time the market, but you guys have seen how I've said that in previous phases and things. There's times where things just rip. I got some big positions on some coins for the next year. Some meme coins, some altcoins. Obviously, Bitcoin. It's number one. Dog with hat goes to $1, $1.20. I'll make 350K just on that trade. So I'm blowing all that on something. Roll it on watches and summer. It's not even that far of a move for this coin. This coin's like down to where it was last February, March, literally last February. If you're in Inner Circle, I've talked about it. So you guys in Inner Circle know why. So I got a big position on that. Solana, Bitcoin. Trying to go to Marbella, Mykonos, and Santorini this summer. And that shit ain't cheap. That shit ain't cheap. That shit ain't cheap. What coins do you guys like this year? What's your guys' top 3 coins this year? Put them in the chat. I want to see what you guys say. I got a lot of coins, so I'm holding like 30 coins right now. So if we get that push up again to even $4,000, $5,000 on Ethereum, and Bitcoin to above 100K, 110K, whatever it does. I want to know what your guys' coins are. I always talk about my stuff. But where you'll probably see like the first, like it always goes like dominance, in terms of dominance. You see what it says here, how long-term holders are actively accumulating Bitcoin. So like staying power, that speaks staying power there. It'll have more staying power. It'll probably be like the first all the money goes to more. Especially with the countries reserving it. I mean, the war that people aren't talking about are USA and China with Bitcoin. I mean, crypto people are. I want to see H bar. I like H bar. I like WIF. For meme coins, I like WIF. It's on Solana. If you're in the Inner Circle, I dropped something in our Discord. If you're in the Inner Circle, have a private Discord. You guys in Inner Circle should be able to see it. If you can't, if you're in the Inner Circle and you can't see this section, message me on Discord. What we got here? Assassination files. What's going on here? Trump and Putin agreed to immediate ceasefire. Oh. For energy infrastructure in Ukraine conflict. That's okay. Yeah, that could, like, that's why gold's going up, because of everything going on. Ukraine, Russia, but doesn't mean, well, there's still, remember, there's more than one situation going on in the world. Yeah, that's good. I like whoever this was, you're on it. Good job. Who was that? What was it? Axe. That's what I'm talking about. Oof. So you gotta remember too, we also have the Gaza situation. That doesn't look like it's gonna stop. And if that continues, that's still maybe still some fuel for gold, maybe. It looks like even gold wants to break out. I even said on stream, the Kickstart Your Week stream. Usually the first stream I do of the week will be Kickstart Your Week. Talk about some things. That's usually a good stream. The Kickstart Your Week. It's usually a good stream. I even said on there, I think it'll go to $3,050 this week. We're almost there. I want to show you guys one thing on this session, but yeah, if you're accumulating, do like what the whales and the big dogs are doing. They're accumulating all the Bitcoin they can first, and then it's like, okay, I have Bitcoin, I can convert to whatever later, type of thing. That's what I think. We'll make the Evan coin one day. We'll make the Evan coin one day. EK one day. We'll pump it up. We'll pump it to 10. We'll pump it to the moon, I'll create a coin and we'll all pump it. I'll do like a monthly giveaway for the coin on something. I'll give away a Rolex once a month. We'll pump the coin to it's probably 100 million. We'll all get rich. Then we'll buy the island. That island we talked about, then we can get the island. And we'll get our own Wi-Fi there. Some of you guys will take care of whatever. I'll bring my trainer to the island. I'll have him there. We'll pump it up. We'll pump. Maybe when Grand Theft Auto comes out, maybe in like 2 years, when Grand Theft Auto comes out, we'll do that. We'll see. Never know. Yeah, seasonality too. Someone did mention that. I want to see what Chainlink, XRP, a dream of. Oh, I've heard of that. I think I've heard of that. H-bar Skids coin. Everybody, I never heard about the Skids coin. Does that come with what's the utility on that? Gym and strip clubs. What's the utility on that coin? I think the XAU Island gold's going up. I hope you probably keep ripping 2350 by one of these days. What's the utility? All those, every coin you guys named, I hold. Ondo, yeah, I didn't see that. I just saw Ondo. I just saw that. That's a newer coin. So like, sometimes they say out with the old, in with the new. But even if you look at like, some of these are gonna become like assets, as like Bitcoin is, right? So like, some of these, like, think about how long these companies have been around. So we can't always judge things that have maybe even not so much longevity to them. Like, I really like Chainlink. A lot of people hate Chainlink. But I'm like, you know what? It has been around only since 2018. It's not. It hasn't hit a decade yet. Not everyone even knew what it was back here, right? What it is now, like people like. So it's coins like that I believe in, that like feel like they've been around for a long time. But I'm like, okay, like what is a long time when you measure the market in the span of 4 years, every 4 years? When you look at some of these things that have been around for as long as they've been around, right? So in some things we measure in time like that, like okay, like your value there with time. But it's good to find some newer coins, like so that's what I did, because I've obviously been in the game for a while, so I'm holding a lot of coins that I've been holding. So I've wanted to add things too. Like I noticed some of you guys said in the chat, Sui, that's a new one that I added this year at like 80 cents. Notice someone in the chat said Ondo, that's a newer coin as well. Dog with hat, meme category. So like even someone like me who's been 10 years in the game, I out with the old, in with the new is a saying that a phrase I've heard. It's helped me catch on to newer things where I'm like, oh, I've been holding this thing for 3 years and it's done nothing. Let me move it to something that's a faster horse right now, and that's helped me capitalize at times. After 10 years. Yeah. But yeah, like this year, coins, like there's newer coins, like newer things to look for still. Like if you've been holding the same coins you've been holding for years, like there could still be good. Like I'm still holding coins I've held for years, like Chainlink, stuff like that have been around like that long. So, but I like someone said Ondo. Apparently BlackRock has something to do. From what I've seen a lot of videos and people just shilling like information about Ondo ties to BlackRock in some way. And like when I look at this coin, for how long I've been in the game, it's had great price increase, but like it hasn't had longevity. It hasn't been that long yet. So it's like, okay, like emotions are there. Like if like I bought this coin higher than it is right now. I bought this like around here. It's lower than where I bought it. But I still understand, like, okay, like the coin's been around for like a year now. Okay. Still have time to really see how it performs maybe a year, maybe within this next year or a year from now, right? You know? Was trading difficult at first? I mean, in the sense of learning it, like learning like the little things, how to do it, not so much, but like phases, definitely like phases of there's hard phases, like learning how to buy, sell, learning how like what a pip is and stuff. Like learning for me wasn't so hard. But then you go through phases, you go through seasons, you go through obstacles, things you have to overcome, challenges, you might say. So there's parts where it's easy, there's parts where it's going great, it's amazing, you're on top of the world, and then there's parts where it feels like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh my god, like I want to quit this. It's harder than I thought, So then, like those types of things you overcome. I think once you overcome trading, everything's really just a battle in your mind, especially when you're a guy. So like when you overcome something like trading mentally, like mentally overcome the emotions of it, brings out a lot of character, some good, some bad in ways, but once you overcome it and go through those obstacles, go through those challenges, you become a stronger person overall. I think anything, like after I kind of look at anything now and I'm like, okay, I could do anything. I figured out how to trade. I could do anything. Anything I put my mind to. I could manifest anything I put my mind to, attract anything I put my mind to, get anything I want. It starts here. But it's you go through mental, I think, challenges too, like emotional, maybe like you blow an account. Those are hard parts when you go on a losing streak I think that those are the hard parts. The losing streaks, the blowing accounts, the going forward and then having to take 3 steps backwards, 2 steps forward, or taking 1 step forward and then taking a bunch of steps backward, going in circles. I think those are the harder parts that come at any level, to be honest, right? You could be a good trader, you could, be really good, and then you just hit maybe a phase where you get undisciplined. So I think when you have your mindset to something, an objective of learning something consistently, if you have that desire there, that burning desire, Think and Grow Rich, burning desire, if you've read that book, then the learning comes with time, consistency, naturally, right? But then you learn more through the cycle. So you should read trading books if you're new. You might be asking that because maybe you're a new trader, right? So I know everything. The reason I talk with the way I do to you guys is because I know everything that you guys are going to pretty much go through, right? Experiences. I talk a lot of experiences. You're a new trader, read this book. Helped me when I first started trading. It's pretty common. It's a very common book, so. That's funny. I read this book. That helped me when I first started trading with mindset. I have some good videos coming out soon on YouTube talking about mindset, my journey when I first started trading. Some of you guys know. I should have entered gold. Yeah, I should have entered down there, but if anything, guys, it's one of those situations where it keeps trying to break up, right? This is where I would put more of like a resistance at 35 and 40 and see if we can break above there. If we can get above resistance, get that breakout, first retest, continuation, because I do believe we could still keep going up on price. Or these moving averages. Oh. It's a good book. Read books like that. Develop your mindset in trading. You'll need mental fortitude along the way to know the difference. Like pain. I'm going to talk about pain because you might experience some painful times where it's like, I lost money and it stings. You need to know, okay, this is a part of the process. That's why I am the way I am. Because the process I've gone through built me that way. So I'm tough-headed, tough-headed in the mind, Yeah, you can put anything you want in there that's resourceful. If gold comes back to 3,030 or lower, I'll look for entries. So 3,030 or lower. Should have already taken an entry and could have closed. Some of you guys probably did on your own. I know you guys. Just listen. You'll get better at knowing when something's there. The more we see those moments like that where we get on the chart and it's like, oh, that was a pin bar. More times we jump on the charts, the more we do these sessions, the more we get into the flow of these routine. We'll see more of these moments, right? And this will happen. This right here will happen more and more and more again. It's just that rhythm. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So if we get any pullbacks tonight, it's back to like 20. I'm so used to saying 20. Oh my gosh. Because we've been in like 2,900, 2,800, 3,000, 3,030. Holy moly, ravioli. I might order some ravioli now. What should I order? Might be a McDonald's night, to be honest. Yeah, I think if we could come back below, like if we go 3,030 or lower, I'll look for entries on gold, scale in on her. Tammy, yeah, like I made some YouTube videos when we made a lot. Like we recorded like, man, that week burnt me. I did probably like a couple months work. I definitely did like months work in that week of just work, just hours, time. Still got a lot to organize still from that week. I made a video on like the truth of day trading. It's gonna be a really good YouTube video. When you're taking one trade a day it's a lot. It's a lot. It can add up. So it adds up. It adds up to time in the market at different entries, obviously. So different entries are good. That's like the whole numbers strategy works well because it provides you different entries, and those different entries may turn into that trade that could be a longer trade. You have optimal entries with whole numbers, different entries that could be provided, but sometimes it could be just one entry that you hold that just keeps going, and a lot of them come off of those whole numbers, like not just one specifically, but a lot of them can be any whole number where the market can just go. But when you take one trade a day adds up to time, like a lot of time in the market, more time inside, more time involved, right? More hours spent, more minutes in different trades. And most traders, we know this, will, usually hold their... So if you're taking a trade a day, like think about this. You're taking one trade a day every day. Most traders hold their losing positions longer than their winning positions. So you gotta think about that, of the trades you're taking every day. You might not be maximizing on your winners, even when you're taking trades every day. But one trade a day can add up. Like if you're risking $100 a trade, and you're taking one a day, risking $500 a week, right? So when you start trading too, you should look at your life, where your life is, your means. So like, okay, where am I in life? Am I making $7,000 a month? Am I making $5,000 a month? Am I making $10,000 a month in life? Right? Am I making $3,000 a month? Am I making $5K a month? Am I making $100K a month? Whatever it may be. Where am I here? Right? Okay, I'm here in life. How can I take some of that or raise that? Right? Or keep myself in a lane over here with trading that doesn't go too much above that, right, where I am, because that's what's going to help you with risk tolerance along the way. Because if like you only make $3,000 a month, but you're going to the charts risking $500 a trade or $200 a trade, it's like you're kind of out of your means because you're trying to make like 10K a month now, right? Now you're trying to make like close to 10K a month, risking maybe a couple $100 a trade, right? So you gotta also, with risk tolerance, you gotta kind of look at where you are in your life too. With what this isn't financial advice. All this is educational, informational, blueprint advice. Take what you need, discard the rest. Type of information. But if I'm only making, let's say I was only making $3,000 a month in my life, and I'm coming to the market, I'm over here trying to make 10K a month in the market, but I'm doing it on this lifestyle here where I have responsibilities also to take care of, right? It's doesn't weigh out, right? It's not the lane. So you got to kind of find that happy medium in between where your risk is enough that it's meaningful, but it's not like too far out of your reach where it gives you room to keep risking comfortably and build a risk tolerance. If you don't have if you don't have a tolerance for risk, you won't be able to hold trades longer, like your winning trades as well. Why can't we make it as fast as we lose it? Sometimes as fast as it comes is as fast as it goes. Maybe that's why. It teaches you patience, the art of patience. Gratitude. Delayed gratification. What you want. What you want wants you. You just have to become the person. It teaches you patience. I mean, in life, as fast as something can come, as fast as it goes too. Might teach you the art of patience. Maybe your losses are happening, because what I've learned from my losses, the fast ones are usually I'm entering early, or usually like the right trade that I wanted to take comes moments after I take my loss. Unless you're getting a sniper pinpoint entry, it depends on the scenario. The market, like, if you were buying right here, that would have went quick into profit. Right? Like, it can, like, there's trades that go instantly into profit, but like if we look at the other day, it was kind of a longer situation. Over here, it takes time. Like the market dropped, we were looking for buys in here. It takes time to get those candles closing. There's points where it goes up, it doesn't just shoot straight up. That's the market. Maybe it's teaching you patience. So I think maybe it's just teaching us how to be more patient, not chase the market, not get what we want right away. But yeah, what time is it? We started at 9:30. How long have we been on here for? Hour 32 minutes. Yeah, so if we get any pullbacks to like 3,030 or lower in that green zone, like 3,030, 3,025 area, I'll be looking for buys on gold. I'm gonna watch that. It'll probably pull back. But that's really it for the night. Missed a buy. Could have took a buy live. I was explaining kind of like that's strategy right there. Like when you guys ask me like that's, you know, candlestick, watching the candlestick for time and getting like a good entry, right timing. Maybe this candle still goes up, but this pushed up. That could have been a trade right there, but I'll look for pullbacks on gold. 3,030 or lower on gold. I think that'll be it for the night. I wasn't on this morning, but I promise I'll be on tomorrow morning. And tomorrow FOMC. We'll be 2 sessions tomorrow, but wasn't on this morning. I'll be on tomorrow morning for sure. New York session. We'll see what the market does tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's FOMC. Maybe look for one setup before. Like, don't push it, because there could be an opportunity presented during FOMC or even after. I feel like if gold dumps, if FOMC makes gold dump, or if gold's even dropping before FOMC, that might be interesting. So we'll see like where the market's at. After FOMC, there could be setups. But we'll be live tomorrow. We're going to wrap it up for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed the session, got some value. Peace out tomorrow. We'll be on. Tammy took a buy. Nice. Watch this 30-minute just pop up. Just had like a little counter trend line break. I like to use those. Always, this looks super familiar on the 5-minute, like this downward trend line. Structure's still technically kind of holding up from here, this low. Might hold, this might hold and still go up. $3,050. Some analysts are saying 3,200, 3,500 this year. Some people are saying 3,100 is done. The war situations, obviously Ukraine, Russia, there's more than one crisis and conflicts going on in the world right now. Plus, there's also tariffs. Now there's tariff wars, trade wars. Yeah, I could have took a buy. That would have been a good little 20-30 pip maybe for the night. Hesitation will kill you in the market. That's why training again. So I had to jump on it. Hesitation will get you. Hesitation will get you. I've learned that. Don't believe me. Oh man. Hesitation. So that's why I always say it's not always even forecasting. Sometimes it's just acting in the moment. Like, okay, this is here. There's this. Like, let's act. It's not even like forecasting or like pre-planning like lines, and it's literally like a lot of times just they're rejection candlesticks. Those damn rejection candlesticks. 30 minutes a good time frame. You guys like pay attention to the charts, especially when I'm doing live streams like this. Like what time frames here. You'll see it there. Maybe gold 3,100. A lot of analysts are saying 3,100, 3,200, and then like I've seen even 3,500. Don't want to underestimate it. Don't underestimate gold. That's one thing too. Don't underestimate it. Just gotta take the trades, like maybe go smaller, practice going smaller. But I think like when you have a day, like the day, my first $10,000 day, I remember where I was. I was in Miami, at the beach, at this place called Nikki Beach. Literally made $10,000 while smoking hookah. Gold sells, or no, it was Bitcoin sells. Was chilling. I remember the day. It was in June. I don't remember the day visually. It was in like 2021. And that day, after that day, I stopped hesitating as much. And that was the day there was a point in my trading I just kind of started going more risky. I want to kind of be blunt here and say like I grew a pair of balls and just started putting on more risk, bigger lot sizes, and just like that gave me bigger days. Bigger days started to give me a bit more confidence and lay back from the market, act more. And then even when I had my first $10,000 day, I remember after that day, the game changed for me. Might take a breakthrough experience like that where you literally just kind of plan for a good trade, you find a good setup, you act on it, you have a good day, a bigger day than you did, and that just kind of boosts up some confidence. Like, okay, for me it was like my first $10,000 day, and after that I was having $20,000 weeks, $20,000 days for pretty much like 3 years straight. After that day, pretty much like every day I would screenshot. If you were on my close friends those years, you would literally just see gold screenshots of profit every day. I would start with $10,000 accounts, $20,000 accounts, $5,000 accounts. Like initial capital is just like, I don't really know a lot of traders who just start, like some traders, like no one just started with a balance and then grew it to something. They start with a balance, blew an account, learned how from that, made the money. But like, it's growing accounts, learning how to grow an account from like 5K to something, and then withdrawing, and then okay, maybe you challenge yourself to grow farther. I learned from blowing accounts, and then from growing accounts from like $500 to $1,000, $500 to $2,000, $2,000 to $4,000, $10,000 to $20,000. That's how I learned. If I go to my archives, I got so many screenshots. I could probably find hundreds of them of just deposit balance when I was trading on a different broker. Before all that MT5 stuff happened and all that regulation stuff happened, I was trading on FX Choice. Now I can't trade on them. Sucks. I like them. And I have so many screenshots of like deposit $8,000, withdraw $22K. Just I was running up gold. Same thing I'm doing now. But if I told you how heavy I am on crypto, I've shown, some of you guys have seen the screenshots or some things. Those days are coming soon. Bitcoin's got my life right now. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I just have a plan, and I'm following the plan. Now's a good time to try flipping accounts because Bitcoin's down. Deposit 5K, flip it to 10K. Got point, like literally. Now's a good time. Like think about it. Bitcoin's down right now. If I put 5K in an account, I flip it to 10K. Okay, how do I look at it? Now, how much Bitcoin do I have? I have more Bitcoin increased. I increase this Bitcoin to that. Man, when Bitcoin was like here, I remember it would be like a 0.1. Think about how much a 0.1 was there, right? 10%, like a 0.1 of Bitcoin, 10% of a Bitcoin. So you deposit an account, you make 2, 3K, 5K, 10K in an account. You got a good amount of Bitcoin in that phase, right? But yeah, we're out. That's it for the night, yo. See y'all in the morning. Peace out, peace out.